It never fails. Every time we go to do hay, something always breaks. In order to cut hay and make it look really nice like this is here, you have to have a good sickle bar. And what I mean by sickle bar is on the bottom of your haybine, there is a sickle bar that has sickle blades on it that goes back and forth like this right here. This sickle bar has sickle blades, those little shark looking tooth things. So today I'd like to bring you guys along because I need to replace one of these so that way I can finish my first cutting. So why don't you come along with us and let's get it done. Today we've got a little issue with the hay conditioner or the haybine. Our sickle bar blade down on the bottom has a sickle bar tooth that's gone. So I'm going to show you guys how to replace one of those. You actually do have to have a special tool. They're held in by rivets, so you have to have a punch to punch those old rivets out, and then that same punch you can put a new one in. So this right here is what I'm talking about. These things that look like shark teeth right here are what we're working on today. There's one right through here that's missing. So there's a guard, which are these spike looking things on the front. I've got to take a section of those off. I've got to pop those rivets out, and then we'll get our new one with new rivets and put a new one in. So this is the rivet tool that we use. I will try to find links to Amazon. I'm not sure if they're on there. These are pretty hard to come by, but I'll try to find a link somewhere, hopefully Amazon, and put it in my description. But all it does here is this one here, it pops out your old rivets. So this is a hollow hole, and you put your old rivet there and then get a socket with a ratchet and go all the way down until it basically pinches the old rivet out. I'll show you here in a little bit. And then if you flip it over this side to put the new rivet in, this has got a press on this side, and then same thing, you go down with it and it pinches the new rivet in place and makes a head on it to where your blade isn't going to come out. This right here is your new blade. We'll be taking the old rivets out of the bar, and then this one goes right in its place and gets set with new rivets. These are the rivets. It is flat on one side and it's got a head on the other. So whenever we're ready to put the new tooth in or the new blade, it will slide in its hole, and then you use that press and you press it together, and this end on this side will end up having a head just like that side. So in order to get to this section to where these old rivets are right here, we have to take off this guard. It looks like this is one section here, so that helps us out quite a bit. In order to get to those, you gotta move the hay out of the way. Get to these bolts here, and I think these are gonna vary in size. Looks like I have to take 3 bolts out, this one, and this one, because that has a placement guard up on top to where it basically holds down your track or your sickle blade or your bar itself, because this whole thing moves back and forth, and that's what cuts your hay. And then this section, this guard section, will have to come out. The majority of these nuts and bolts that are up on top is a 11/16. They probably can vary because these get broke quite a bit, and I'm sure people change them out with different sizes, but the majority of their size is going to be 11/16 up there. So on the underneath side, you have this little bracket. It's just basically a position holder. Holds everything kind of in place. This is that guard section I was telling you about. Just comes off this section right here, goes on the ground, and then here's that upper guard on the top. So now that we have the guard, which is this guy here, off the front, it opens us up to the actual bar itself. As you can see right here, these are the little rivets here and here that we need to get. These are the old rivets, so we need to punch those out. And in order to do that, we'll have to have our special little rivet machine. So using this rivet machine, you have to be real precise, because this little tip right here will break easily. You have to have it center of the hole of the rivet whenever you start tightening down on things. We have broke these things quite often, but you can buy replacement parts at your local tractor supplier or whoever. But you get that center, and this is just a 3/4 inch socket on the top of this that you tighten up, and it will pop the rivet out. I'm not lined up right. Readjust. It might be a little hard to see, but as you can see, that rivet tool is pushing that old rivet out, and as I tighten more on that, that pin will just push it all the way out, and it'll fall out the bottom. Just like that. Old Bailey dog supervising again. She's a pretty good supervisor. All right, now that the old rivets are out, here's your new blade that's going to go right in there. And then your rivets just go right in the holes that we just created, and then we're going to take the same tool, but we're going to flip it and use this end to press it all together, and that pushes those rivets in place, and that blade won't go anywhere until we hit another rock. As you can see on top here, these heads are smushed down. If you look on the bottom side of it right now, they're not. You can pull these completely all the way out, and so that's what that press does, is it presses that up, or presses that together, and then makes a head on this side. Alright, so that's in place. Now all we have to do is put our guards back in place, and we're ready to go cut some hay. And that's how you change one of those blades out. I should be able to get the rest of our first cutting done today. I've got 2 little fields to do. We've got, I don't know, about 7-8 acres on the ground at the moment. We're going to be doing those in small square bales, and I'll make sure to bring you guys along whenever we make those square bales. But as of now, this is ready to go. I'm going to go cut those fields. Actually, I'm going to go get some breakfast first, and then I'll head up to those fields, get them cut, and be ready to start tethering probably the rest of the end of the day, and then 2 days from now we'll be raking and then baling it up in small squares. So I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you guys learned something. And until next time, thanks.